Hi, I'm Megan. This is my husband Billy. We met on eHarmony. These are our children, Michael and Lydia. And these are my siblings, Jacob and Zoe. We aren't your typical family, but together we have lots of fun. Okay, well that was rude of the camera. Anyway, it logged me out. I just battery exhausted. So dang, this video is long then. Okay, so another thing so when you're looking up is Domino's, is Papa John's, what's vegan at these places. Okay, I liked that Papa John's had vegan crust and they have a lot of different options that you can do vegan, so that was very helpful. What I didn't like is that they don't have a lot of topping options, especially being that you're gonna now spend more money because you're adding all these extra toppings that can come anywhere between 50 cents and $1 extra per topping. So I did not like that one single bit because I was getting frustrated when I was trying to order the pizza because they just didn't have a lot of toppings. So I went with my go-to jalapeno and pineapple, and that's it. Where if I was home, there would be banana peppers and green peppers and green olives and be so many things that would be stacked high. For instance, when you go to Subway and you can have so many things on there. Anyway, what was another thing? We did go to Subway one time. I had cheese, the next time I didn't, but it just is what it is. I did cheat. I'm not gonna lie, there were times I cheated. Now, there was one time we were gonna get pizza and I was like, I'm gonna cheat. I was gonna leave it vegetarian, but I was gonna get cheese because I was wanting cheese. And that's when we went to Subway instead, and I got cheese and a ton of veggies, which still, the next time we were actually gonna get pizza because we had been in the mood for pizza, but the pizza place had been closed, and that's when we went to Subway, and then I just got the cheese. Because honestly, for me, it's oh yeah, I want this cheese, and I freaking don't even think about it. You're not supposed to be eating cheese. But yeah, my sandwiches are always really overstuffed there, so that was funny. Anyway, another thing for me was I thought I was gonna cheat. I was like, that's it, I'm cheating, it's fine. I'm just gonna do a lot of veggies on top, and I'm gonna do cheese, but I'm not gonna do meat. Well, the next time we didn't go then, so then when we did get pizza, I actually ate a vegan pizza and I enjoyed it and I loved it and it was so delicious. So I'm gonna try to semi-recreate that pizza tonight. Anyway, that was way too long to talk about pizza, but it was really good. I'll try to insert a picture in here before I upload this. If I don't, just check out my Instagram. It's probably gonna be on there. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. I don't know if this really informs you of what, I'm not saying do either that you have to go vegan, not to go vegan. You do what you do for your health reasons. Now, I will say I'm vegan-ish right now because there are times that I do eat cheese and there are times that I will eat meat. But again, like I said, it's very few and far between. I think I had 2 bites of quesadilla, and a burger and a burrito, and that's been the last week and a half. Other than that, I have not ate actual real meat. Anyway, thanks guys for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye! Alright, welcome back guys. So there was 9 minutes left on the washers, and I didn't really want to come back out and then go right back in, and so I just waited. So yeah, that was a lot longer than thought. But now I got a few minutes before I put for 24 minutes for it to dry for 24 minutes. So we'll see how it is. Oh, I like how my hand is blocking the sun. Anyway, okay, so this video is about, I would say I went veganish for 23 days. I really did try extremely hard to stay, to only eat vegan. Now, let me clarify. After watching some documentaries and stuff, I decided I wanted to do a 30-day challenge. Well, I made it 23 days of the 30. And I I will say it did make, I feel like this video is all over the place already. I do feel like it made quite a bit of difference in my health. Now, I never felt like this extreme boost of energy. Never got that. So, some of these that are like, oh yeah, you're going to be sluggish for 3 days and then you're going to feel like amazing. Okay. Yeah, whatever. Okay. So, the biggest thing for me, the reason that I did this, let's just start from the beginning. The reason I did this was, one, after watching all the documentaries, I had found myself, I had already been complaining of bloating and my stomach pain after I ate. Not kidding, it hurt so bad. So, I didn't know what was causing this. Some people were saying, oh, there's too much acidity in your foods, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I started looking stuff up, and it looked like I needed to go towards a more plant-based diet, and see if that helped. So that's really the reason that I even attempted to do this. Since January, when Billy got sick at the end of 2017, so December, like right after Christmas to beginning of 2018, Billy got sick, and that just really kind of just pushed us that we need to eat more fruits and vegetables, and we need to be healthier, and we need to think about things. Well, after that, a couple months later, I did a side job with him, and I bought a juicer. That was basically what I worked for, was for the juicer. And I have had so much fun juicing stuff. Well, watching these videos and everything, there were different people who were like, yes, you know, your recommended intake, you're never going to be, you will be eating all day long, every day, I'm 24 hours chewing. So they gave you some suggestions, and a big thing was to juice. And so I was like, okay, that makes it a little easier. So I was making the most creative salads, making creative meals. Then it's when I cheated without realizing I was cheating. So the one thing was a company that I thought was vegan, not all their options were vegan, so that's where I messed up. And like if I read one label and I was like, oh good, that didn't necessarily mean the other label was good. So that's when I like, oh man, this has milk in it. I had no idea. So I did cheat, and I feel like there were times I didn't realize that I was cheating because I didn't realize that was not true. Like, oh yeah, well if they have like this whole line of stuff, then I can just pick anything from their line. No, not necessarily. So with that came a lot, some stuff that I really liked that I couldn't have, and that really, like Kind bars. A lot of several of the Kind bars that I like had milk in them. So that made me sad. Okay, then I tried some other brands who were absolutely totally disgusting. I found Cliff bars that I liked, so I ate them. There were some other things that I ate because I needed the protein, but I didn't necessarily like it because I was like, that tastes like I'm just eating straight up sand. Okay, so found some companies. Nope, won't be doing that again. Too expensive, and it tasted like I was eating sand. Flavored sand. So then there were times that I can think of twice that I straight up failed because I had gotten to the point that I was so hungry that it didn't matter. I just needed to eat. And for instance, one of those was when we went to Olive Garden. Now, I stayed vegetarian, like I was like vegetarian that meal, but I definitely did not stay vegan. And part of that is because I was just way past hungry. I was just, whatever was in my sight, I was going to eat it. If it was meat, I was going to eat it. If it was eggs, I was going to eat it. If it was cheese, I was going to eat it. Whatever it was, I did not care. I was going to eat it. Then so those, I like consciously knew I was failing miserably because I was way past hungry. Definitely don't do that. Number two, it did get a lot harder. So I was watching this video about this vegetarian that went vegan for 30 days, and she was like, she found herself suggesting food and stuff like that because it is hard. Okay, and people would say, it's not that hard. Yes and no. One, it was hard because the things that other people were in the mood for, I wasn't in the mood for. Two, I just knew like what the go-to thing, like, oh, this has a lot more protein, this will keep me full. I found that I was frustrated constantly doing research to find out what I could eat and what I couldn't eat. So, not gonna lie, it is hard. Now, if you've done it your whole life, great. I also found myself not really in the mood to go out. Like, before I'd be like, oh yeah, let's go wherever. I found myself not really wanting to go out. I found myself wanting to go home and make it myself because it was easier. And I didn't have to sit there and think about it, or I didn't have to sit there and change stuff. And then one of my favorite places became Taco Bell. Like, I hate to say that, but it became Taco Bell. So I would get like a thing of black beans, and I would get a thing of rice, and I would get some chips with pico, and I would eat that. And then sometimes I would get the vegetarian bowl and then switch out the, like, take out the cheese and stuff like that and just put the vegan options on there. But honestly, that probably became the only place I would ever eat out. And majority of the time I would go and I would ask for a pico, and I would ask for black beans, a cup of black beans and a thing of rice, or whatever, because it just got to the point where it was frustrating and it was difficult. There were times where I thought I was going to miserably fail and eat meat. Actually, it wasn't until day 23 that I actually ate meat. And yeah, I actually ate meat because we were going to Chick-fil-A. And I was like, I'm about to just break this vegan challenge. That's when I fully stopped. I was like, okay, I'm done. I will say, whenever I did that, I still don't eat a lot of meat. And I don't eat as much dairy as I did before. Because I'm not kidding. I love cheese and I love sour cream. So, the effects since then, I do not have pain after I eat. I found myself craving things like spinach and vegetables and tomatoes, and, well, that's vegetable. Anyway, I find myself craving that kind of stuff. I find myself craving better things for me. I mean, maybe once or twice a week I actually eat meat. Or I'll eat like a bite of it and that's it. So for instance, one person got, I think, what did he get? Quesadillas? No. What did he get? Yeah, I think it was quesadillas. I had a couple bites, and I went to this burrito place that I absolutely love, so I did have chicken that day, and I had a burger. But honestly, it's maybe once to twice a week that I actually eat meat. I tend to cut back. I just don't really crave it. Or I'll have like a veggie patty of some sort, like a veggie chicken patty, a veggie burger, a veggie corn dog. Like, but I've been like that. Like, I could go days without meat and weeks without meat, and it was totally fine. So as far as the meat part, yes. And cheese, really. The dairy wasn't even milk or eggs. It was cheese. That was pretty much it. But yeah, so I just kind of want to tell you, did I notice any big things in my mood or anything? Nope, not really. I did notice, okay, I know I've lost weight, but I don't know how much the weight I've lost. I can tell that I've lost weight. I can tell that the bloating has gone down, but I do not know how much weight I have lost. When I started, I was 145. Now I have no clue. Nor do I really want to know. This is probably like totally crazy. Like, why are you doing this video when you can't even tell us how much you like feel like you lost? Okay, first of all, my face, you can see it a little bit. I feel like you can't see it that much. In my like chest area, I feel like it's not, and in my back, I can feel like my back is not Like, it kind of comes in a little bit more, like a little bit more of an indentation in, where before it was just like straight. And then I have like a little bit of fat that would hang over my pants. My pants don't feel as tight, depending on also if you just ate. Oh, and another thing is, this is going to be a TMI, but my BMs have been a lot better and a lot more regular. So, okay, I heard this, like, I've heard, like, different things from different people or different doctors. So, one was like, oh, if you poop once a day, you're good. Then some, oh, if you poop once every 3 days, you're good. And then people, oh, you can have, like, 5 pounds of poop in your system. Ew, gross. Anyway, but I have noticed that that's more regular. So that's been helpful, I feel like. And I feel like, yeah, that's like, there's not that extra weight, so there's not that extra bloating. And the biggest thing for me was the pain. I mean, like, bloating is uncomfortable, and sometimes I still bloat. Like, I will admit, there have been times where I'm still bloated, but it's not to that extreme, and it's usually another reason on top of, like, not just diet. Like, it's usually whenever I cave and I go eat the meat that I start, oh my gosh. So this is TMI, but they had hot dogs and I ate the hot dogs. That was one time I bloated and I was so uncomfortable, and I had not been that uncomfortable in like a month. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was in so much pain, and I was so uncomfortable. So I'm not saying it's directly the hot dogs, it's just the food that I was eating. Like, this is crap again. You're eating crap, your system's gonna revolt. So yes, so I noticed that my BMs are better. I've noticed that I don't have pain after I eat, and I noticed that I crave better foods for me, and I noticed that I have lost weight. Do I care how much weight I've lost? Nope, don't really. As long as I feel good within myself, then I'm good. And a big part of that is the bloat is gone. I feel like I still have a little bit of a stomach, which is normal. I'm about to be 30. I'm not worried about that. But in general, I feel better about myself. I feel like I'm doing better. So I will say I'm not full vegan, but there are definitely days on end that I go without cheese or meat. We're going to do a vegan-ish pizza, or I'm going to do a vegan-ish pizza tonight. Hopefully that still goes on as planned. And I have to get some of the pictures of the other ones. So that was another thing. Like, when you're ordering out and stuff and you're looking up, is Papa John's vegan or whatever, I wish freaking Papa John's, as much money as you're spending on this pizza, because you're not going with the traditional, like, give me cheese and pepperoni and